Guys, I think today is going to be very interesting and exciting. And I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous about what I'm about to do to my body just to potentially settle a debate. The question is it easier to do pull-ups with your body weight, bench press with your body weight, squats with your body weight, or deadlifts with your body weight? What do you think? Well, guess what? I'm going to go through all of those exercises today, and I'm going to see how many repetitions that I can get in each discipline. Now, let's keep in mind, chest is my weakest area, and I've talked about that before. I don't have a big chest. Bench pressing has always been an issue for me, no matter how much I've worked on it. I've always been good at pull-ups. I've been doing them since I was a kid, so that shouldn't be a big problem. Squats could potentially be an issue. You all know that I've got problems with my knees from years of running and cycling. I've got torn articular cartilage, loose bodies, osteoarthritis, complete degeneration of the lateral supporting condyle of my femur. So I've got some issues with that. But guess what? I don't care. I'm going to go through these exercises because I want to see what's more difficult. I don't think deadlifts are going to be an issue for me. You've all seen me deadlift. So deadlifting my body weight most likely is not going to be that difficult. Now, the other variable that could throw off these results is that I'm going to do them in one session. So if I do my pull-ups first, is that going to affect my bench press? If I do my deadlifts first, is that going to affect my squats? So whatever I do first, most likely is going to be the easiest, and I should get the most reps out of it. But let's actually see if that really is the case. Quickly, before we get started, you can already see I've got a nice creatine pump. I've had my BCAAs and my creatine. I want to thank Transparent Labs for sponsoring this video. Without their products, I might not have enough energy to get through what I'm about to put my body through. All right, we're going up to trainers at my gym asking them a serious question. What do you think is harder to do? Pull-ups with your own body weight or bench press with your own body weight? 4 reps.
Pull-ups.
What do you think is harder to do? Pull-ups with your own body weight or bench press your own body weight?
Pull-ups.
Squats with your own body weight or deadlift with your own body weight?
Deadlift.
Deadlift your own body weight or squat your own body weight? 4 reps.
Deadlift.
All right, so just to be clear, you think it's harder to do pull-ups or you think it's harder to do pulls in general?
Pulls in general.
Pulls in general. All right, if you train a lot of pushes, is that going to make it easier for you to do the pushes and then make it harder for you to do the pulls? So it really depends on what your skill set is, if you're a strong pusher versus if you're a strong puller. All right, the moment of truth. I'm going to step on the scale, see how much I weigh. That way I know how much I need to put on the bar. All right, let's see what we got. All right, 180.2 pounds. You know, the rule of thumb is that you generally do not become a man unless you hit 200 pounds in your lifetime. Obviously, I'm just kidding, sort of. I'm going to start my workout with pull-ups. Then I'm going to make my way over to the bench press, then to squats, and then finish off with deadlifts. Let's go. All right, let's go. Oof. Man, I'm a little bummed. I thought when I started that set that I was going to get about 30 reps, no problem. I flew through 15. All of a sudden, monkey jumped on my back. So it is what it is. I got 20 reps. Now let's move on to the bench press and see what I can do there. We are going to need 145, 2 10s, and of course the Tiny Tims, the 2.5s. And no, these are not fake weights. I actually choose to make gains. And if I lift with fake weights, I will not make gains. I wonder if I put my Clark Kent glasses on, if it'll help me out. No, probably not. that was brutal, and obviously a lot weaker than my pull-ups. All right, I've got to admit, as crappy as that was for me, as few reps as I actually got, my chest is actually pumped and it feels good. So don't worry about how much weight that you can bench press, because most likely you'll only spend a limited amount of time performing the bench press in the gym. So all the gym dudes will be around you and say, wow, look how much that guy can bench. But the rest of the day, you'll be out in society and people might look at you and say, I wonder what that guy does in the gym. Probably not bench press. All right, I'm gonna put my shirt back on for this one. I don't like the barbell on my bare skin. Much better. All right, here goes. Whew. Now, I may have a little bit more in the tank, but since I've already passed my pull-up number, I think I'm gonna take a rest. Now, maybe, just maybe, I could have squeezed out another couple of reps. But don't forget, I still have deadlifts. Hard to believe I'm actually still out of breath. For the deadlift, I'm bringing over my 45-pound competition bumpers. They are not just regular bumper plates, they're actually certified 45-pound weights, unlike your regular bumpers that you may see at a gym that may weigh 42, 43 pounds, who knows. I'm also switching out bars. I've got my Rogue Ohio deadlift bar, so I'm gonna slide that weight on and see what I can do with it. So I'm still sipping on Creatine HMB with BCAAs to hopefully get me through this last round. Whew, all right, done. Now, obviously, I had a lot left in the tank. I'm definitely tired. My grip started to go towards the end, but clearly I got 5 more reps than my highest mark, which was on the squat. Now, if you remember in the beginning of the video, I told you that there were variables that can potentially adversely affect the outcome of this particular test. Exercise order, obviously, is a significant variable. Individual strength characteristics or strength traits specific to the person. So are you a pusher? Can you bench press well? Are you a puller? Can you deadlift and do pull-ups well? It really all depends on the individual. So this test does have some flaws to it, no question. For me, today, I was best at deadlifts. I maxed out on my pull-ups. I maxed out on my bench press. I went sub-max on my squats. So I didn't go as hard as I possibly could because I already passed that magic number of 20 that I did during the pull-ups. So this is really a great way to see where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are. That way you can attack the weaknesses and continue to work on your strengths. So no, the debate is not settled. We don't really know if it's harder for someone to do a pull-up, if it's harder for them to do a bench press, if it's harder for them to do a squat, or if it's harder for them to do a deadlift. Try it out yourself, see how it goes. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. I will see you all next week. Let's go.